right. Oh, we already got a couple people in the room. What's good, y'all? A to Z, how was your weekend? How's life treating you, Queen? Life is great. I was 8 people off the jump. What's good, y'all? We love to see it. Shout out to King League. We got the banner up. A to Z TV. The banner is up. We up, baby. No mistakes today. Hold up. I didn't even send this message and tell people my story. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. My bad. Meant to send that before what you call it. Let me get this on the gram. On the gram. Quick promo. Going live. We have a special guest. Okay. What's up, y'all? Devin Williams. Did you have a chance to see Candyman this weekend? No, I didn't even know it came out. I didn't know Candyman came out this weekend. Egregious. How did I know that? I need to link to this stream. Hold up, give me a second. I tweeted it. I did not know Candyman came out though. Was it good? Actually, don't tell me. I don't need nobody opinion. I'm gonna watch it. Don't tell me nothing about it. I'm gonna watch it. Because if not, I'm gonna go in biased. And I'm definitely not gonna be fucking with it if y'all say it's trash. Or at least I'm most likely not gonna be fucking with it. I'm gonna be keeping the same thing. So don't tell me nothing about it. I'm gonna watch it though. I shout out to the super chat. Mr. Bobby Wright, shout out to me for getting y'all together. First of all, Bobby, don't give yourself so much credit. Okay, buddy. We was already connected. All right. JoJo, shout out to JoJo in the building. All right, we about to get things started. So we have a special guest this evening. Y'all already know. As you see from the title, the thumbnail, it's gonna be a wonderful show. And we're gonna bring her right in because we ain't got no time to waste. She ain't wasting no time. She on time. We on time. She on time. So the show is on time. Shout out to FBA, Nigel, and King Leak. What's up, King Leak? Candyman. Oh my God, egregious. Let's go. Hey,
what's going on?
What's up, Shorty? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? I'm excited.
I'm glad you are. I am too. I've been waiting a minute. You know, I've been watching you for a minute on the peep. I've been waiting. I needed to come over. I'm glad we connected. Shout out,
yeah. Well, you know, I've been hitting you up here and there, and I said watching your stuff, so I am too. Finally, me and you.
Right. It's a blessing.
Snap! They got the melanin popping tonight, baby.
As we should.
Yes.
Oh my God! Shout out to King Lee and Jazz. Shout out to Jazz. Now Jazz. Oh, let me say this too, right quick, because look, Patreon members, Jazz specifically, because I see you in here. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and DM me. Okay, I'll say them at the end of the show if you have any questions. Patreon members only. All right. But other than that, let's go and get into it. Why don't you introduce yourself right quick, Courtney?
What is good, family? Obviously, this is Courtney Michelle. You see me on Lapeef Network. Also on the network, I have my own show, the Renaissance Belle, Courtney Michelle. So I am here, ready to talk, ready to learn, and ready to build.
As we should. I love to see it. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna hop right into it. First things first. I believe you are. Are you FBA or ADOS?
Yes. So I am FBA. Yeah. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee. Pretty much born and raised. I lived other places, but on my mom's side, from Arkansas, and then my dad's side from here moved. No, originally from here in Tennessee. So, yeah, I am foundational Black American. That is me.
We love to see Arkansas. Mm-hmm. That's kind of out the way, though. You know
Arkansas, that's the South. Now we're gonna talk about descendants of slavery.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we over here. Arkansas is next to Mississippi, by Memphis. No, it's South.
Now, wow, I did not know that. How far is it
from Tennessee? All Negro, all Black, and all country. They just now got paved roads.
How far is it from Tennessee?
So depending on where you go, kind of like in Arkansas, it's a couple, maybe 2.5 hours from Mississippi, Memphis. So here, probably about 5 hours.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, Tennessee is kind of mid-south. We're in the middle. So we touch Georgia, we touch Alabama, but we also touch, Illinois and some of the Carolinas. So we right in the middle.
Okay, got you. But I did not know that. My geography is all off. Take my ass back to school.
I'm seeing your little map, girl. I'll be looking at the maps too. I'll be like, what the hell? Okay.
Not for real. But what's your do you know what your lineage goes back to? Whether do you have like have you ever talked to your great grandmothers and you know if they were slaves or shareholders? I mean, saying prop what they call prop something like that.
Sharecroppers.
Something to do.
Sharecroppers.
There we go. Yes. Natives, whatever they were. Do you know anything about your lineage?
My specifically, yeah. So on my dad's side is where I'm more familiar with because they trace their lineage back. So my great grandmother was a slave.
Okay.
So we know stories about her. Now, she was a slave, but also of mixed heritage. So she kind of tried to blend in with white folks. And so we kind of have that story of, you know, grandma was trying to pass. My great grandmother was trying to pass, but I mean, it is what it is. And then actually I know a little bit more about kind of our Moorish background because we were like legit descendants as well too with some of my people. So they were here before slavery happened as far as with the Moors from Spanish. So yeah, so I got a lot of little background that's all mixed up, but at the end of the day, you know, I am proud to be FBA.
As you should. We love
very
to see
much
it.
So.
That's funny you said that too. I'm gonna start off with your grandmother, but I had that on my side, so I think that's what a lot of Black Americans do. Honestly, we've been kind of intermingled, you know, colonized, should I say? But I had a grandfather that was the same way. He was white passing, but you know, my grandmother Black, all the rest, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but his family. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Honestly, what the hell exactly he was? I just know he was white passing. We're gonna figure it out though.
We're gonna learn.
Now, what I was about to say, your grandmother, I'm glad you mentioned your grandmother first because you know we can't really talk about the Black experience or Black culture without mentioning the matriarch of the family. You know, a lot of us are, you know, were born into matriarchal settings, dynamics of families anyways.
Right.
At least after the 60s and stuff. Was it like that with your mom? Was your mom like that, or did you have a stepfather or a grandfather who was like the head of your household? Everybody went to. How was your setup?
So, my biological father left when I was 2, so we didn't really come back together until late 20s, early 30s. So, so that's a whole nother story. But from what I know, my mother's side, my grandmother. I used to live with my grandmother. So when my mom divorced, you know, she had 3 kids. And we had to move back with my grandmama now while she got on her feet, went to school. The same story that a lot of us have. So in the midst of that, we moved back to my grandmother. So I was raised with my grandmother for a very long time. So she was a matriarch. You know, big mama, the cooking, you know, we would wake up for breakfast. It'd be fried chicken. We'd be like, darn, kind of calm down. I thought I was going to get some Fruity Pebbles. But no, baby, over here, baby. Grandmama feeds you, baby. Okay. No, you want to know why the South be heavy? Because grandmamas was feeding us fried chicken for breakfast. So, but it's a blessing because I was able to live with my grandmother and, you know, seeing how it was keeping the family together, and it was over food. We, you know, it was celebration. All of us came together, told stories, and she cooked. And she wasn't with my granddad. She's a little modern, a little bit, a little sassy, but it was very important for her to keep the family intact as much as possible. So yeah, I was raised with my grandmother for a while.
You know, but you know, a lot of FBAs, a lot of us went through that same experience though. A lot of us was raised by grandmothers all of our lives, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, and especially after when we looking at for a timeline, especially after like the 60s, after the feminist movement, you know, a lot of us definitely had that were put further into that matriarchal setting. How do you think that may have affected your relationship with your mother, or how was your relationship with your mother growing up? Because that's the whole thing we not really talked about as much as Black girls and their mothers, you know, in our communities.
Yeah.
And that disconnect there, that distrust there. So how was that, especially if she was gone or you lived with your grandmother for a while?
Well, my mom was there too, but she was working 2 jobs, going to school, so she wasn't there for a minute at a time because she was getting back on her feet. when her and my dad left, so we had to move in with her. My grandmother who was, consistently there, me going to school, someone there to make sure that there was an adult in the house. But it did have a strain on me and my mother's relationship because while she was out getting, you know, wasn't a man in the house. So she was mama. She had to make sure Buddy was taken care of and all that. So she was away. So a lot of stuff that I feel like I could have learned or should have learned as a child, some more self-esteem, me being comfortable being a woman, I didn't have because she wasn't there for a period of time. She came back and we moved out when I was like maybe 11 and 12. But then again, at that time, it was kind of rebellious. I'm thinking about going to high school. I'm liking boys, starting my little minstrel. So, it was a whole lapse that I think I missed with my mother. And we still, kind of have our back and forths a little bit because she wants to be my mom, but wants to be my best friend. And, that dynamic. But I think that dynamic is kind of not necessarily just cultural because a lot of women, girl, and moms have that kind of relationship of I want to be your best friend, but I want you to respect me as a mother. I don't know.
Yeah, nah, that's real though. Yeah, it's a fact. It's a problem that a lot of Black women have to deal with. And what would you if she was she married before your father left? Were they married?
Yes. So they met in college freshman year. So they were married. And I said this story before. My father, 80s crack epidemic. My father was got on drugs. And so it was an addiction, and I got so many stories. I remember him being on drugs. So it got to the point where my mom had to leave. It wasn't that she was a modern woman and I'm leaving my man. No, my daddy should have been left.
Hey, that's the case sometimes.
Daddy had to go. Daddy needed to get his little life together. Right. He was on drugs. And I remember walking in my house one day and seeing footprints on our couch and our AC. We had the big AC in the window. And I remember that completely pushed out and footprints. And we was like, we just got robbed.
Nope.
Guess who robbed us?
Daddy.
Daddy
had to go. AC.
Ain't it so? And I remember physically seeing knowing it was my dad's footprints. And I'm scared of someone breaking in the house and it's my father. So, okay.
Egregious. Yeah, I feel it.
So it took us some time, a lot of forgiveness, but now me and my dad has the closest relationship, and that's work. And that's why I was like, man, look, putting in this work is definitely necessary because Black folks, we got trauma.
So how long did it take for her to return? When did she remarry? How long did it after they split? Was she remarried?
So they left when I was 2. My mom remarried when I was 11.
Oh, okay. So when you moved in with her and her husband, or you all moved in with her husband?
So my mom remarried when I was 11. I was living with my grandmother at the time, and he had his own house. And then once they married, they bought a house, and then we all lived together.
Okay, gotcha.
And that took some getting used to having a man in the household now, and I'm 11.
I was about to ask you about that. How was that transition?
It was a transition. But my mom made it clear. She said, "Now look, now, okay, I got a man. I love him. He ain't your daddy, but you will respect him as the man of the house." And so that's kind of how our relationship was just, he didn't come in trying to be my daddy. My mom never, came in, you gonna call him dad. She was like, but you gonna respect him as the man of the house. And then that was it. That was it. And so, and they're still married, and I call him dad now because it's been 20 plus years. So, yeah.
Do you think having him around kind of helped y'all's relationship?
Yeah, it did. Because she was home now. She wasn't having to work 2-3 jobs to take care of kids and, make sure all the bills. We had a man in the house that wanted to be the provider. And, she was home more. So I got to see my mom more when she got married, and even seeing her being in love and dating, there was something different besides her being angry. So it helped a lot.
Besides her being angry.
That's daddy, that nigga. Like, okay, mama. Calm down, lady.
Now, and I was about to ask you that because that's a big thing with Black women, okay? In our community.
No.
We can't tell Black mothers nothing. We can't tell them shit, especially if they raise us by themselves. It's very hard, okay?
Okay.
Well, but how was that experience with you? Were you taught accountability when you were growing up, especially as like when you got to like that adolescence or early adulthood, when you were transitioning to those stages? Were you taught that from your mother, or were you able to have conversations, with your mother or grandmother? Either. Do you have sisters?
No, so I got 3 brothers.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So especially because you're the only girl. How was that?
Yeah. Well, I grew up as a tomboy.
Because
I had brothers. Believe it or not.
You seem very girly to me. I wanted to guess that.
Yeah. Well, I learned a little bit because I was like, darn, why everybody don't boy like me? They just want to play basketball with me. I don't understand. I'm like, I like you. No, nigga, let's talk about these J's. I'm like, I'm tired. I want to hold my hand.
Switch it up.
I'm tired. I'm like, I put on a little something. I'm tired of people just play some ball, Courtney. I was like, no, I want to hold your hand. So, but I grew up as a tomboy because I had 3 brothers and I wanted to play with them. And they used to take my toys and play football with them. So my Barbie's hair would be cut off and they playing football. I didn't have no toys. And funny story, I remember I was like 3rd grade or 4th grade where my mom had to sit me down, was like, you can't walk around without a shirt, Courtney, you're a girl. Because my brothers walked around with no shirt. They had basketball shorts. And I used to walk around like that too. I mean, I had nothing there.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I grew up with dudes. So I'm playing, Super Nintendo back then. But no, accountability, that was never really a discussion. I grew around with guys, and I never was really taught femininity or how to be a woman. My mom, and I'm guessing because my dad was like, you go to school, you get your money, you don't try to have no man take care of you. You need to learn how to maneuver in the world as a woman because you just never know. So my life has always kind of been, I'm going to be successful as a woman and get paid and learn stocks and bonds and how to make sure that I'm okay. Never understanding that, I'm putting all this pressure on me, which, my body ain't built for, that's for big shoulders. I got little Southern hips, I can, for being a nurturer and a mother and a lover, not wanting to pay every single bill and cutting my grass, taking out my trash. That ain't what I want to do, child. And I don't understand these women that want to do that. Baby girl, sit down and cook a little meal. I'm tired of cutting grass.
For real.
Messing up my sneakers.
They're a necessity. Men are a necessity. But you know what? You being in the South, it does kind of change the dynamics a little bit because women up here or women on the East Coast, the masculine energy, the aggressive, like dominant, egregious ass energy that we be having for a lot of our women, it's pretty bad. But I do notice I spent like 10 years in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So I spent some time in the South, not in the DB South. Tennessee is North Carolina, But I will say even the women there are more feminine. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more passive, a little more cooperative, or willing.
Yeah.
Do you think that Southern FBA women are easy? FBA women are easier to hold accountable or to have those type of conversations with?
Don't want y'all East Coast and Midwest women coming at me.
I'm from the East Coast. I'm not going.
I know, because I'm like, don't come at me. So, but I think so. So, in the South, it's slower here. Like we're slower. We do take the time out to smell the roses. And like I said, growing up with grandmother and big mamas and all that, I mean, let's just think about Black food, Southern food. It's country food. That's the South. We take time to cook and fry and have these big meals and have families together because that's how we raised, and we still do. So, we're taught really to feed your man and to cater more. Now, do we have issues in the South with masculinity and women? Of course we do. But I think down here it's a little softer. We're a lot softer down here that I've learned talking to a lot of, my show is a whole lot of Chicago people. They rough.
You said your show is a whole lot of Chicago people?
They Chi-Town, baby. And they are rough. They hard. And I've been to Chicago a few times and been out, and I was like, y'all a little scared a little bit. Y'all just don't want to sit down and chill, have a little drink. You want to fight? You want to fight just because? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but we be like that though. That's why I'm not going to dispute that because I've seen it firsthand. These women, modern women, Jesus.
It goes down. Yeah, look, it goes down up there. Here, of course, we have ours. Like, ain't nowhere perfect, but I do see a more softness down here.
Do you think generally they have more of a respect for men, a better relationship, even in general, just speaking with men down there?
I think it's a Southern culture. So, you have the Southern hospitality. So even with me driving and there was a big thing a couple months ago with Kevin Samuels and Black women not speaking.
Yeah.
And not saying hi, right? So I was taken aback because down here we speak to everybody. Like when you drive and hey, how you doing? When I go out and I see my neighbors, I'm always speaking. It's a Southern thing that we speak to people. And even when I travel and let's say I go to DC and I do the same thing, people do look at me crazy. Like, I don't know you.
You'd be surprised. Yeah.
Did you see that in North Carolina? Did you notice that in North Carolina, like people strangers just speaking and just you walking in the grocery store, if you make eye contact, it's an automatic, how you doing?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. It's true. Down there was a lot more. That's a fact. I can look somebody dead in their ass up here and walk right past.
Yeah, they be like,
not say nothing.
Yeah, so we give the head nod if it's somebody Black, what's up, then keep going. So it is a Southern charm down here that I can appreciate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I want to go back to your stepfather though, because I do think well, at least I know there's a lot of, we all know, of course, after the crack epidemic, and other things that other ways Black men were targeted, a lot of them got taken out of the homes, even yourself, you said your father, but you had your stepfather, even though the ones, and I had a stepfather as well, so, but even the stepfathers that were there, for those of who were there, I'm kind of noticing that they weren't, even like you said, they weren't as they weren't replacing the father, figure. doing everything that the father should have. That's how it was my experience as well growing up. Yeah. Do you think that's something that's missing, that some of these, a lot of women should be having their fathers or stepfathers, if they're present, help them with dating more so, vetting other Black men and, things of that nature, because a lot of us don't have our parents in general involved in that part of our life, but especially our fathers with our men.
Yeah. So I would say this, because especially being a step parent, I know it's kind of hard, and it really depends on the age that you come in that child's life. So if my child has a stepfather, she's 3, 4, and that's all she's known, then it's easier for him to act as a parent. My brother, my oldest brother, is a step parent. He remarried, and she had a daughter, and they married when I think she was 5. Now she's 15, 16 years old. So it's easier. Like, she calls me aunt. That's my niece. I call her. I check her. She be on IG. What's up with that shirt you got on, my G? So it's, she's been in my life for such a long time as a child. So I'm with her growing up. And so I would say with a stepfather, it's easy that way. With my stepdad, I was 11 going on 12.
I was too, yeah, right around that age.
So I'm a little bit older. So that was a little different. He couldn't come in and check me and be my dad. I don't know you, man. but I can respect you as a man. Then it started happening when I got to know him and know that, he really loved my mom. My mom really loved him, and he began to really love me. Then our dynamic changed. And so when I got in my 20s, then he would kind of check me and be like, hey, man, where you going? What you think you doing? But it took longer because I was older. Now he checks me all the time.
Yeah, cool. Like that. How long did it take for y'all to get there? For y'all to be like calling each other?
Yeah,
have a consistent relationship.
I said maybe my 20s. And they were when I was 11, so 10. I'll say about 15 years.
Sheesh.
I know, but it was a long time. But then again, but I was a teenager, and then I ain't trying to listen to nobody at 16, 17. I'm growing. I'm 18. I'm going to college. But he didn't give up. My mom didn't give up. I still respect him, but now relationship is closer because he's been there. He's now, he's been there majority of my life. He a good dude. He's good, man. He's solid.
I was assuming,
we be playing spades. He can't keep these hands. I'd be like, baby. But he's a good guy, and I love him to death. So
that's a blessing. Okay. Well, were your parents? A lot of us were raised in mainly Christian households. To be honest, were your parents religious like that?
Yes.
They were Christian. Were they Christian?
Yes. So yeah, which I could say Southern. We Bible Belt down here. So yeah. So I profess Christianity as my religion. I was raised a Christian, raised in the church. I was in the choir back in the day. I had a solo. Lord, I hope no one pulls it up. Jesus, no. But I was raised a Christian, and my mom heavily in the church, and she still is now. Like she's I'm in my prayer room child kind of mama.
Okay. Well, she was religious, but was she conscious? Was she like pro-black? Or your stepfather, were they pro-black or anything conscious or anything of that sort?
No.
So what did they teach you about your culture, about your lineage, about your pride? Did they teach you to have, pride or black power or something? How was that?
Really, it was more religious based. So it wasn't, you are a black woman. This is our heritage. You need to learn this. I learned that on myself, and I learned that going through a HBCU. But for me, I wanted to learn because I grew up in, once my mom got remarried, we moved to the suburbs, all white. I remember my first job was around all white folks. The white folks always ask me dumbass questions of what pig feet taste like, Courtney. We know you know. Look here, cat. Okay, so yeah, so I'm growing up and raised that way. There's a lot of times where I felt, especially being black around all these white girls, and my hair wasn't long enough, and my nose was too big, my butt was too big. I felt really, really self-conscious. I feel like no one wanted to like me because I was the black girl. I got, I'd have kissed you for a black girl, but I could never be with you. So I was like, I got to get out this. So I decided to go to a HBCU. And it was there where my first year, I was blackity black. I dropped Christianity. I learned being a 5%er. So I was a 5%er for a second.
Wow.
I had a fro. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Oh, damn.
I walk around with dashikis, and I had like Malcolm X shirts going to class. I was like, "What's up, brother?" Like, you've changed.
Yeah. I think every pro-black person go through that phase. What's the real?
I was walking around with incense. I had that African musk on point, baby. You couldn't. I had it in my ear. Walking around with incense. I was like, man, Courtney, you completely changed. So yeah, so when I went there, I was like, I want to learn everything about my culture, the 5% nation. Everybody was peace God. So yeah, obviously I've gotten a balance.
Jeez. Okay. Well, did y'all have anything? Did y'all participate in any like well-known black cultural events, like maybe Kwanzaa, Juneteenth?
Well, yeah.
Like that?
So here in Nashville, we have 3 historically Black colleges that we're all together. So we have Tennessee State University, Fisk University, and Meharry Medical College, which is the only historically Black medical college we have here in the States. So we were all together. So when I tell you, we had all kind of, speakers, and then I started kind of learning about the civil rights movement in Nashville and how big it was. And then I kind of learned a little bit about my mom. Like, she kind of did some stuff. She was the first person, the first Black woman to integrate her high school.
Okay.
And I was like, Mom, that's big.
My grandmother was too. I'm weak.
Yeah. So I was like, Mom, that is huge. Hearing stories about that, sitting at counters, my grandparents, and getting milkshakes thrown at them. The restaurant was called Woolworths. And that was the first integrated restaurant, and my grandparents is there. So I'm like learning, man, we've made marks here in Nashville, my family. And it's a sense of pride.
Oh, that's a blessing. And what did they speak of that as well when they told you about these things that happened?
I don't think they understood the importance of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was like, yeah, I was the only Black person in there. And I was like, do you know how huge that is? Like, you
do you know what? But that might be a thing, because my grandmother, I don't know, my grandmother is getting a little sick now. She's I think she's developing dementia or something of that nature. But I asked her about when she was the first time she ever went to school, like, how was that being the only Black person? And she was like, I mean, I was there. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? It was fine. I'm like, what? It was fine. Like,
it's like you have your name in history right now.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't know. Maybe but it could be a trauma thing too, though. I don't know. Maybe
it could be
picking the scab. I can understand that.
So it could be.
But what was your experience like at the HBCU? I know you said that you came into your knowledge yourself. What's something that you first tapped into that really made you get curious about Black history and about Black culture and everything?
Well, tell you something interesting. I got an interesting story. So where I lived in the suburbs, it's called Hermitage, Tennessee. It's like 15 minutes away from downtown. Hermitage is Andrew Jackson's. It's the name of his plantation. So growing up, I lived in a city named and representing of a plantation. His plantation it's a museum. So in high school, we would go visit. And I would, we would see, and I would see the slave quarters or where the slaves were. And I would go in there, and mind you, it wasn't a lot of Black people now. And I would go in there and I would be weeping. And I would be like, oh my God, this is where my ancestors lived and stayed in families. And I saw trees and had visions of them being hung and beat. And I would weep. And then the other people were just looking like, what's wrong with you? You don't know nothing about a slave. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I have a consciousness of what happened to my people. It's something that's innately in me. I can't explain it, but I felt it. And and from there on, I was like, man, they don't understand what it is as far as with Blackness. Because we go through things now, but we still feel the remnants of what happened in our past.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. And I remember driving, when I got my car, and there's a slave grave site in Hermitage as well. So you can see where the slaves are buried, and there's tombstone, but no one has a name because they weren't deemed enough important to put a name on the tombstone. And so just kind of driving by and looking at it again, it makes me feel something. And I was like, man, I got to understand these feelings. I got to understand and be around people that look like me and finally feel comfortable in looking and being Black. And watching A Different World, I thought I was going to get me a Dwayne Wade. So I was ready. I said, let's go, TSU. I'm ready for it. And it was the best decision I made. One of the best decisions I made in my life. It changed me.
And I'm glad you threw that in anyways about Dwayne, because again, Black women, we have been taught at least to prioritize school and career over wifehood and motherhood. Was that? Did you go into college with that in mind? Like, I'm coming here to get my education, but I'm trying to leave with a husband.
No.
So when did you start having that mindset of wanting to get married? When did you come into that?
I thought, like a lot of women, I was like, well, maybe when I hit around 30 to 32 is when I'll want to settle down. I went to college having fun. I was dating. I had a boyfriend, you would think, but I wasn't serious about him because I was like, well, when I graduate, where I want to go. I moved to Atlanta after I graduated. So I left. And I didn't think about that. I just thought about what I wanted to do, where I wanted to travel, where I want to live. But a husband and family didn't because I thought I had time. There was no getting old for me or hitting the wall. It was, wait till I'm 30. That's a good age to settle down. Not knowing, now I know it's like 30. You kind of old a little bit. You little seasoned, my G. You come on, baby. You should have nabbed him when he was 25. Your ass is 32 over here struggling for a date. They don't want to take you back. So no, I was completely and utterly in delusion.
I am weak. So when you had your daughter, is that when you kind of was like light bulb went off? Like, yeah, let me get serious.
Well, I was going to the plan. So I had my daughter, I'm my age, at 32. So I was, but I was in a relationship, and then once I had her, he proposed in the hospital, and so I was like, okay, well now this is my family finally, But unfortunately, I wasn't in really a lot of long-term relationships. Like I would have a relationship, it'd be 2-3 years, we'd break up, it'd be years, and then I get so I really wasn't emotionally smart in relationships. I was still having a very immature mind frame with relationships. And he kind of caught that, which I was like, oh, sorry, baby, I wasn't ready for you. At 32, I still had a mind state like I was 24, 25. So I had to emotionally grow and to become a woman and be responsible and understand my role as a woman. And that all happened. My daughter, I mean, that'll make you grow up. If anything else will, she would. And she did. She made me become a woman.
Jeez. Did you have any peers with you? Do you have any close friends? Because I know you said you have sisters. Do you have any best friends or anything that was with you?
Yeah.
That made the same mistakes or went a different route?
Well, one of my best friends is married. She got married early 30s, but majority of my homegirls aren't married. They're successful.
Yeah, I mean,
my best friend that I went to Vegas with to go see Usher, honey, some good time. But she,
you look like you had a good time. You look like he did his thing.
Okay, that thing was on the stage grabbing at his feet. But but she's not married, and we have these conversations because she's beautiful. She's a lawyer. She's super sweet, soft spoken, like. Now, when I talk about feminine, like she's to a T, but not married. And we had the conversation. It was like, bitch, we why where did we get it wrong? And it was the same conversation. We just felt like we had time, and we had guys that wanted to date us. So it wasn't like we were just sitting at home lonely. We would have guys calling, "What's up, and so we had options. And so we didn't take it serious because we figured this is how our life is going to be. And now we're looking like, well, that was wrong.
Now I feel it because I'm trying to get the reins on my shit right now.
Let me tell you, time is not on your side. No, Adam, time is not on your side. That time, once you hit 30, whoop, and you like, damn, I'm here right now. Oh, so I'm drinking all the type of water. Look at this.
Hey, look, it's real. You look good. You don't look good.
I'm drinking all the water, baby. You ain't gonna see
like that, but that's good. That's a blessing. Hey, look, keep drinking your water. You got a good regimen. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Get that skin tight right.
That's good. I forgot this school thing. HBCUs. What's something about HBCU culture? Or at least I know it might differ around, different parts of the country, but at least for your school, what's something that you really enjoyed about the culture there, and something that you kind of didn't like?
What I liked and what I didn't like?
Yeah.
So again, just being in a seat, I said this when I went to go see Wakanda. I said the closest thing that we have here in the States to Wakanda is HBCU.
Mm.
It's especially living on campus, and all you see is just smart black faces that TSU is known for our nursing program and our engineer program. So people are graduating nurses and engineers, and I have friends that are doctors, and so it's upper echelon of a lot of black people there at my school. So it was just like, wow, how beautiful are we? And just the sea of black folks, and then homecoming, and it's more of a family, and I felt like a family, and we're still very close, and we be in Facebook just chit chatting in our little clique clubs for TSU, and so it's home. TSU is my HBCU is more of a home to me than a college. So that's something that I loved. What I didn't like. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, of course you have cattiness, and that's just people in general. I think sometimes HBCUs got bad raps, rightfully so. Sometimes, I got purged every semester, so my financial aid didn't go through. We would call it nigga shit. We'd be like, man, I'm in these long lines, and my white counterparts. Oh yeah, I registered and I'm in it, and I'd be like, well, I got purged. I'm starting school a week late because they kicked me out of the system. Whew. So that was a struggle every semester, but I wouldn't choose anything else but HBCU.
That's a blessing. Are you pushing your door? Shout out to JoJo too for that super chat. I think he sent me he sent a super chat earlier. Shout out to the super chat as well. What's up, Courtney? This is a Trey Main.
Oh, Trey, yes.
On the Facebook group.
We be having yes, because they be trying to get at me on the Facebook chat.
I'm dead.
Tremaine be having my back. I'll be like, thank you, because you believe Courtney said this? Yeah,
JoJo said, shout out to that boy KJ for the finish standing recording one on the pitch.
That is my guy. What up, KJ? I appreciate it.
I'm dead. But are you pushing your daughter to go to HBCU as well?
To be honest with you, I'm not pushing her to go to college.
You pushing her to down the wife?
I'm teaching her how to be a wife. If she wants to do something vocational, that's great. Even though I love my experience, and I was blessed because I went to an in-state school, so my student loans wasn't that much. They're paid off, thank God. My first choice was Clark Atlanta, but that was like 19 G's like a semester, and so I would have been in heaven, debt and all that. So I'm not pushing her for college. I don't think college is for everyone. So
it's not. Yeah,
no,
it's not.
So yeah. And to be honest, what I do now, I'm not even using my degree.
Really? What you get a degree in?
Communications with the emphasis in journalism.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. So you haven't used it?
I'm in the tech world.
Oh wow.
So I'm a techie. Okay. Yeah, that's completely different. I'm a nerd. I'm over here. I build computers and servers. So yeah, I'm a nerd.
Oh, I mean that's what's up. That sounds like that's better money though. I can't even fake, but still, that's wow.
I said that communication degree to kick rocks. I'm out here broke over here trying to communicate with the people. To hell with y'all. I'll text you. Let me go ahead and build up these computers.
Oh, well, you know what? Kevin Samuels do be talking shit about communication degrees.
That was the worst decision. Again, that's why I needed a mentor. They'd be like, Courtney, what you gonna do with the mass comm degree in journalism? You want to write in the newspaper?
Oh my, that was my. You know what? When I went to college, I got accepted into Shaw, but I ended up going to Wake Tech. I only went there for like 2 semesters, I think, and my was communications because it just felt the most general. I was like, this is something. Felt like it's something. It's something I can do with it,
That's how I felt.
But hell, I'm glad I stopped that shit because that shit was not for me at all.
Okay, I'm in real good broke. So I said, let me go on into something that's more financially based, and I'm still learning. I've been doing it for a while, and I'm still learning. So yeah.
Now I'm curious because I asked you about about the side of side of HBCU culture that you may not like, and I'm kind of curious, right? Because I've always been concerned about. Did y'all have majorette dancers at y'all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now the band is the band.
Okay.
But we did have majorettes. Yes, our band was awesome. They went well. Our band was great. They didn't travel to the White House. They played for Obama. Like, we so proud of our band. So yeah, and they played in front of for the Tennessee Titans halftime. So yeah.
Now, yeah, because you know what, the bands do be looking sweet though. I can't even fake. I actually love that part of HBC. That's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to go to. Is just that shit looks sweet. It look like it's fun.
I was in love with a drum major. Let me tell you this: them drum majors, they be doing all this. I was like, who is that man doing all that little stripper move? Honey, I love his drum major. What is his name? I'm about to Google.
Nah, but I was about to say the majorettes though. You do have a daughter, and some of that dance is a little
risque,
a little sexual, and even before the majorettes, they do. I don't know if you ever heard like the dancing dolls. Like they have like dancing teams that kind of basically train the girls up into that. Do you see a problem with that sort of dances they do, at least for the younger ages, because they be copying the older majorettes? I mean, do you think that's grooming to an extent or anything?
Well, yeah, and that you see at the game, like little girls looking at them and admiring them because they're beautiful, and they're, it's not a stank because they're not out there twerking, looking like Meg Thee Stallion or
right,
Cardi B. It is kind of an elegance that they do. So I can kind of see the distraction of it, but I guess because it's just so traditional with HBCUs and black bands and the majorettes. Like even I remember looking at them and I was like, man, I would love to be a majorette, but how these knees are set up. Nope.
It's breathers,
Can't do it, baby.
They be doing too much, but they do.
It's the elegance of it. But I never looked, and I don't think I remember any guys really just looking at, man, that they bad. It was just, this is the band, and that was just, they were part of it. So I don't remember.
Would you let your daughter do it? Would you let your daughter train for it if she wanted to do it?
I would. Okay. I would. She's in ballet now.
Okay, now ballet is a little bit different, but I like.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It is a little bit different. But the whole with those women, as far as with my school, and some of them could be a little bit more stank. And again, I was in college years ago, so I don't know how they're really doing it now in the midst of the twerking era and shaking ass and tits. But they were elegant, and they were, those were, you think about like AKAs. That's who they were, and they had the hair, and they sat pretty and tall, and I admired them. Of their beauty and their elegance and their sweetness. You never heard them really talk. None of them argued. They always had boyfriends, and so I don't know. I admired them in college, actually.
Okay. I'm curious too. Especially because you have a daughter. Even outside of like majorettes or things of that nature. And that's not even. The dominant society, should I say? I'm not gonna put that on us. The dominant society really highlights the worst parts about culture. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to music, mainstream media, things of that nature. So have you found it kind of difficult, especially in the wake of the new era of TikTok? Every challenge. I mean, just a few months ago, WAP was popping, and they had a whole dance to it. I seen a bunch of little girls doing that shit. So have you found it to be more difficult now in today's age with all this technology and all these other influences coming for your children? Do you find it hard to kind of filter through that so it's a balance, so she's not like a prude or someone weird that's in the house and that's antisocial, but also not exposed to things that she's not ready for?
So when I found out I was having a girl, I wanted to make sure that I didn't just baby her, which I never baby talk to her. I talked to her like a girl, Zoe, her name is Zoe. Zoe, sit down. Zoe, do not pick that up or else. So I never baby talked to her. Even in the womb, when I talked to her and I prayed over her, I talked to her. Zoe, you're going to be an amazing Black woman. And so, even with that, with learning her body parts, I never said that's your cuckoo, that's your pee-pee, that's your vagina. So I always wanted her to be very self-aware and be comfortable in herself and her skin. So even with TV, I block a lot of stuff. I don't listen to, there's, like I said, the whole City Girls and all that. I don't listen to that at all, but I don't watch videos. I'm very cognizant of what she watches on TV. But then sometimes there's stuff that pops up. Like, she's a fan of JoJo Siwa. Well, she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars, and she's going to, she came out as lesbian now, and she's going to be on there dancing.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she's going to be the first one to be dancing with a woman.
Oh wow.
And me and her watch Dancing with the Stars, one of our shows, because she thinks she's a dancer. And we're not going to watch it this season.
Did you talk to her about it?
Not yet. But there's cartoons that have two dads, and so I'm now having to talk to her about these things, but I don't want to sugarcoat it. I want her to be very aware and very smart, but I would never think that I would have these conversations to a 5-year-old. But unfortunately, this is what is on TV, and I can't block her, especially if she's in kindergarten with all these other kids. God knows what these kids are saying. And I don't want her to get that information from snot-nosed children, to get it from her mother. Yes, women are falling in love with women, man and man. But let me tell you about you. You getting a husband.
That's and that's something that's a a lot of us FBAs, even if we're not necessarily political in a sense, a lot of us do have more of conservative aligning ideals, even if we go Democrat and all some bullshit, but a lot of us have a lot of conservative ideas. We've been out of police, and so a lot of our parents, a lot of our families are having those conversations. I know my father talked to me about that type of shit when I was young, but that's because his sisters is like that, so he had to make that clear because those are my aunts. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of Black Americans have to have those type of conversations. But even besides that, especially directly in the schools, I don't know if you've seen they was teaching 5-year-olds about masturbation in schools. It's egregious. So especially with kids going online, I know certain states you can't go online anymore. Kids can't go online unless they have to, like they can't go to school. How are you feeling about the school system and like keeping your child in the school system? Because as you know, if you be one, we try to separate in our own schools and shit. You got Dr. Umar building something, King Randall, I think it was another brother I heard building a school. Is that something you have in mind for your child, either long-term or short-term, to hopefully get her around all Black kids, or at least a predominantly Black school, something of that nature, with Black teachers, Black curriculum, things of that nature?
Well, interesting you say that, because that is something that I'm thinking about, especially in her formative, in her formative years, is homeschooling. And there's different forms, of course, of homeschooling. So understand, schools that are being built, but also homeschooling where, you trust the parent that's teaching. You have a curriculum. Like even me, I'm looking at stuff to maybe teach class to have children in my home so I can teach them. But I looked at homeschool. This school system is messed up. What they want to teach our children honestly has nothing to do with really making it out in the world today. It's not about finances. They're teaching sexuality to kindergartners. Black history is no longer a thing. They'll teach us that we were slaves, but they won't teach, who the real natives was here in the States. They won't teach you what we created, and American culture is Black culture. You won't learn. I didn't learn that. I had to physically learn this shit on my own, because I had, I had the hunger for it. So so me and her dad have talked about doing homeschool. So as of right now, it's kindergarten. I'm familiar with the parents already. I've already signed up to be in the PTO.
As you should.
Act like them preachers don't be getting weekly emails. Hello. as of now, I just have to make sure that I'm there and I'm present, and they know the type of mother I am, and I'm not playing. Me and my daughter are open. She has been telling me a lot of stuff, and so I'm trying to keep that communication so I can know exactly what's going on. But I'll pull her out of school in a minute.
I should though. That's the good thing. Hey, look, you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's more on the parents to deter children from harmful media and music, or the artists and the labels to do so, just create the content?
You know what? That I get so annoyed when I hear people say, "You're a parent. You have all the control of what she sees and watch." I don't. I don't. She's in school for 8 hours.
I'm about to say that in 21st century. Yeah.
I got a whole jail. I got a job, so I can't. I am not there in her life 24 hours. She has friends. She'll go to a slumber party. I'm very cautious of that. She went to one slumber party, and I was on not even like that because I'm funny acting. But yeah, she's influenced. She's gonna watch TV. I'm not always there. I'm cooking. She's changing the channel. So I can't be there 24/7. She is going to get people are going to talk to her. She's going to be influenced by people other than me. So I do think our artists and our image should be kind of understanding that, kids are looking at you. Now, should they be the number one role model? No. But are they role models? They are. Because I remember growing up wanting to be Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
And I love my mom, and she's right now the epitome of a Claire Huxtable. But I wanted to be Janet Demita Jo. You couldn't take control. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Janet Jackson. And I listened to her, and I wanted to dress like her, and that was my role model. And then that Destiny's Child. I still color my hair thinking I love some Beyonce. I'm still influenced. So of course kids are influenced. I still am. Let Beyonce come out with some more. You don't think I'm gonna be on the run fast? I will be. Mask and all.
I feel it. That's real. That's real though. Yeah.
I'm still influenced, unfortunately, because I'm human, and we are.
Yeah, it's a part of the human experience.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're going to be influenced by someone at some point. Now I'm going to play a quick video, and I want you to react to it. Okay, hear your thoughts on it. All right,
Lego.
Okay, I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
It's embarrassing. You got on 5 necklaces. You ain't Nipsey Hussle. How many people in your neighborhood dress like that?
You
How
act
many
like you're
people in
from
your
the
neighborhood
streets.
dress like that?
You act like you're from the streets.
I'm from Ferguson, Missouri, the murder capital of the world.
Really?
What are you talking about?
Tyrone Woodley, the softest thing from Missouri.
Where are you from?
Tyrone Woodley, the softest
How many
thing
people
from
in your
Missouri.
neighborhood dress like that? Tell
You're
me.
so tough.
How many people were bust down
Let me
Cuban
ask you a
links?
question. Since you're
Answer
so
my
gangster,
question.
Since you're so
I'm
gangster,
from Ferguson. I answer. How many people in your neighborhood dress like you? How many rap videos have you watched? Exactly.
How many?
Culture. That's what I am. I lived it. They're rapping about my lifestyle. You a fucking joke. And you trying to vulture from it.
Since you're
and come Sunday, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get hit with a whole bunch of culture.
He said, you're going to get hit with a whole bunch of culture. Yes, he should.
That's what he said.
You better beat that nigga too, honest. But what's your thoughts?
I understand what the man was saying as far as your neighborhood, do you dress like that? And he doesn't. He's seen it on TV and think that's cool. But I hate when Black people say that, especially in front of white folks. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. Like it's something to be proud of. I know about the Cuban. I do this. Ferguson, baby, #1 murder capital in the world. That ain't nothing to celebrate. Like it's just a minstrel show. We think that the negativity that comes out of some of our culture is to be celebrated, and that's the number one reason why people are going around saying our culture is trash, because we celebrate trash. There, I mean, he got on a cute. Okay, well, that's how white boys are dressing right now because it's popular. We've always known that Black music, Black culture has always populated popular culture. How we dress is how the world is going to dress. What we listen to is what the world is going to listen to. That's just facts on that. But to celebrate being the number one murder capital of the world and like it's a badge of honor, I think it's disgusting. And we do that a lot. And then we get mad when people say our culture is trash. It's because we celebrate the trashness of our culture. You don't see white folks, I'm from the trailer park. Respect me. I eat spam. You know, that ain't nothing. I wouldn't don't tell the people that. Keep that at your house.
Well, I think she
but now walk with no shoes on, bitch. No.
I think the brother was emphasizing that. Just to make the point of he was doing it for mockery. One is the original, the other is a generic version. You know, which I can understand that why he would, emphasize that.
But do you think that's our culture? Because he was emphasizing you're gonna get all this culture. Is that our culture?
It's a part of it.
It's a part of it.
It's a part of it. It's not the general it's not the majority, or it doesn't mean it has to be the face of it. But it is still a part of it, and it's a part that they love to appropriate and change into and try to act like the same thing they're doing. Like bruh going to a room like that, he's the gangster, the hood guy, the big black guy. This white boy walks in and he's the cool hipster, the urban guy. He's the popular kid. Everybody knows him. Everybody wants to know him and shit. But it's like these the same niggas. He got his shit from him. Why am I the one being villainized if he wearing it? We got on the same shit. What the fuck is going on? So I can understand that why he would want to emphasize that. Why he was trying to emphasize that, and I think he was low key trying to intimidate the white boy. Which,
he was trying. I'm from Ferguson and I murder. You don't want me. So it's boxing. So I get the intimidation of it all.
Yeah,
even if it's just like, I don't know. Like I know it's part of us. I take all of us. I don't do all parts. I take the good, the bad, and the ugly. However,
it's all.
We are beautiful.
I feel like even those parts of our culture that we aren't, the most proud of, the most promote the most, Do you think even those parts we should still be gatekeeping? Because fuck it, Paul, you got plenty of white boys walking around the hood. It's at least one or two. You're gonna see in a school in a black neighborhood somewhere, white boy or white girl who thinks she a bad baby or thinks he an Eminem that fit in with everybody. Do you think we should kind of stop that? Stop allowing them even in those sections of our culture.
Well, I mean, it's always been for me where I see when white folks, Asian, whomever, want to appropriate our culture, they do it the hood side. So like even with Bad Baby, with the nails and the lace fronts and all that, and the talking, and they take that part of Black culture. It's never the educated Black woman. You don't see the white, yes, right. I love Black people and look at me as I sit with my HBCU degree. As it's the girl, don't you girl. So that's frustrating. But that's how they see us. And so in order for them to feel close to Blackness, they have to be ratchet.
Yeah, because they think that's what Blackness is.
They think that's what Blackness is. And that's what we perpetuate on TV. These people be from Idaho, and what they see is love and hip hop, and so they think that's what Black women are. And for me, I'm really trying to change that narrative, and I'm grateful even Zeze being on your show. It's like, let's give them Black women we're not like that. Now we can get like that. Now, don't get it twisted. But I'm very
the time and the place.
But it's a time and a place. But you're not gonna see me here just cussing everybody out and I'm over here fighting, throwing drinks. Our image is important, and I think that we're at a time and space where we have to change our image. We have to change the narrative of the Black woman being just so aggressive, like we can't be feminine and sweet, and that we don't love the Black man. We got to change the image of the Black man being looking like they're thugs all the time, or really now it's more effeminate. It's not even thug culture anymore. It was in the 90s. Now it's
I think that's worse.
Yeah, it is. So now it's our Black men don't want to be a man no more. And I'm fighting over nail polish with my man. And so we got work to do.
Yeah. And we it's all about also emphasizing our culture as well, our lineage. That's why we we rock with the FBA or the ADOS, whichever, you know what I'm saying? But we try to emphasize our lineage because it's been diluted. A lot of people, and I heard this on your show. A couple people called in on that specific show with Culture is Trash Shit. But people kept saying that we were kept trying to claim that we were like a amalgamation of different cultures, like we're a melting pot of some sort, and trying to act like we don't have our own separate, specific way of doing things, traditional way of doing stuff,
Right.
So do you ever feel like kind of pressured or anything like that from other groups? The liberals, they love to do their thing, but from other groups to kind of allow them in our spaces? Like if we don't allow them in or don't allow them some sort of whatever they want to get from us, then it's like we're anti them or we're wrong in some way.
I've been here recently for the past month. I've been getting people calling me a racist.
Oh Lord.
I'm a racist. I'm a bigot. I'm prejudiced because we say B1. I'm B1. I totally believe that we need to have our communities together and focus on our community, and our community is the Black community, is ADOS. That is us. There's a whole lot of Black people here, but their experience is not like us. Like I can get emotional when I look at a slave quarter and I'm physically there because it's in my spirit. The Jamaicans that are immigrants that are from the Caribbean, they're not going to have the same experience because they didn't live it. Their ancestors did not live it, so they don't understand. They have their culture that has been there for thousands of years. Nigerians, they come over here, still have the same food, same music. They kept their language. They've kept their religion. They're just here, but nothing has changed. We're not raised the same. We might have the same complexion, but we're not the same. And it's important that we still cultivate who we are as Black Americans, and America is ours. This is our land. This is our country. We built it. There would be no America if it wasn't for our Black people. So we have to cultivate our culture. And it doesn't mean I hate anyone. I just have to cultivate who I am. Every single culture does it, but us.
Except for what we do is a problem.
We get shamed for it. If I say no, I'm for Black people marrying Black folks because that's how we're going to keep our communities together and let it grow. I don't believe in assimilating. I sure don't. I don't believe that we need other cultures in our business because they ain't got nothing to do with them, and they damn sure aren't inviting us in their business.
Facts.
So go on about, you got something to say it to your cousin and them. Leave us alone. Because we were better as a community when we kept them out of our business. We were married at an 80% rate back in 1950.
Right.
Because Jim Crow was the reason why, but they weren't in our business. We were separate. And I don't believe in separate laws, but I do believe that we have to maintain our culture. And the Mexicans do it, the Asians do it, Middle Easterns do it, white folks do it, but us. And we're on the lowest of the totem pole. And I really believe that's why, because our family is not intact, because our culture isn't.
I mean, egregious. Only when it comes to Black Americans, though.
It's just us. It's just us. And for the longest time, I did feel like I was like, man, we don't have a culture. We're just lost. We're just in the States, just flying by. But we do have something special. Like I said, there would be no music if it wasn't for us.
That's and I'm talking about
fashion here. like I said, we talked about food. I can talk about inventions. Like on my show, I said there would be no elevators if it wasn't for ADOS. There would be no tennis shoes. There would be no hairbrushes. There would be no cell phones. These are not immigrants. These are slave descendants, Black folks here that created this. We something special, and if we don't focus on that and just focus on our twerking, then the younger people are not going to know how great we are. And it's in us. It's in our DNA. First open heart surgery, us. The street light, the stop sign. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much we've created.
Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, we got to know that, so especially for our generations moving forward, the millennials and Gen Zers, whatever the hell the next generation is called. But yeah, they have to know this as well, which is why I'm so happy to see so many Black people on code, at least on social media. You know what I'm saying? Trying to push this our lineage, and emphasize our lineage. Actually, speaking of that, because of course we are under a system of white supremacy, and the dominant society does like to push the worst parts of our culture. Do you think that this grassroots Black media will be like the saving grace for our ethnic image, our cultural image, how we look as a people?
It's all we got right now.
Yeah, especially with the manosphere. So I mentioned that as well.
And how important is that? But no, we're not mainstream. This isn't going to go mainstream. They see two Black, educated, cute women talking sensibly and wanting to be, a community. Do you think they're going to show this on MTV?
Hell to the no.
Hell no. No.
I think they'd be baptized anyway.
They were like, y'all, it will never be on this channel again. But if I'm over here cussing you out and I got babies behind me and my baby daddy got a tattoos on his face, I'd be the next one on Love and Hip Hop. So this is all we have. This is the only medium that we have. But however, it's something special and people are watching.
Yeah.
People are watching, people are seeing, and it's just being consistent and being honest and just letting people know, like, we're here, we're not going nowhere. You can try to shame me, call me racist and she masculine, and well, I'll be that. But you are going to forever hear me say that I love my Black man and we need to stick beside him, behind him, wherever you want to be. Just be with that Negro.
You need to be with him, though.
Be with him. Jump on his back if you have to. Hell, but be with him. Let's get our families back intact. And I honestly believe like that is what's going to make our community strive, because it's been so much stuff to get us apart. It's a reason why there's a Planned Parenthood in the hood. You're not going to see Planned Parenthood in no suburban areas in the hood. Yeah. Our Planned Parenthood in Nashville is by Fisk University in Meharry. They put it by our HBCUs.
Wow. By the damn HBCU. Oh, yeah, that's disrespectful.
By the college.
Wow.
So there's a reason why. Women can't be funded as far as getting governmental help unless the man is out the house, and they get more money and incentivized with more children, even though they're not married. But I'm going to give you more money in the government if you have more kids out of wedlock. It's a reason. It's a reason why they're effeminizing our men and showing us that, wanting to make us think that our men are gay. It's a reason why they, wanting us to believe that our Black men want other ethnicities but us. They want us apart.
Damn.
And because I know they're trying so hard to keep us apart, it must mean that it's something special when we get together. And I'm trying to get that life, so catch me married in a couple months. Damn that. Hell, I want a big black burly nigga. Just crunchy black. Big wide. No, I want him black, just the color of my shirt black.
You better speak it into matter.
Hello, and I'm gonna have if I could pop out another ashy black baby, yes, just because I want to show them how beautiful this melanin is.
As you should. That's your duty as a black woman. That's a pleasure.
Yes.
As you should. I'm weak. All right, and let me see. Do you think the ultimate solution for Black America is separate?
How would that separation look?
About a few states, maybe like 8 to 10 states. Predominantly black towns, schools, neighborhoods, hospitals, banks,
I think it's important to have a Black Wall Street. Is that what we're talking about? So I don't think the separation would be like Garveyism, like Marcus Garvey moving back to Africa.
Yeah,
no, we built this here. I am not moving back.
I'm not going
nowhere. I ain't going. I'm here. Okay.
Right.
You see all this niggerdom here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because FYI, they don't like us over there like that either. But that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole. Oh no, but I feel it though. Nah, I'm shocked. Yeah.
Act like they don't. Okay. So no, my black tail is going to be here. But do I think it's important to create Black businesses and give Black businesses our Black dollars and Black banks investing in our communities? Absolutely. Yeah. And I support it. So we have to have our community. Again, every other culture has it. Yeah. Every city has Chinatown. Every city has a little Mexican area where you get the best street tacos ever because they just straight off of Mexico and they making it all authentic. And they don't even speak English, but they're able to live in their communities and strive. Those people, they got money. We the only ones.
Yeah.
White people do it. Act like if once Black people move inside their community, they move.
Yeah.
They move. You start seeing for sale. Now they might not tell you, but it is. Once Black people move into these communities, they move out.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the value of the houses, once Black people move, it go down too. We need our own.
Yeah, we need our own. And shout out to I know Brother Ben X. It was a couple people I've seen been buying up like acres of land and things of that nature, which is a blessing. I know it was like 10 or like, what was it, like 9 families. They all bought like 90 acres or something like that. They trying to build a Black Wall Street out in, I don't know, somewhere down south, I think. But yeah, so it's happening, so I'm like, separation, it can happen. I think a lot of Black people, they hear separation and get a little scared or think like, how we going to do it? What we going, what I'm saying? Like it's not possible, but it's very much possible. It's already really happening, to be honest. So
yeah,
but yeah,
it's happening here. It's happening here. I spoke about that. It's North Nashville. It's a street called Buchanan Avenue, and it's buying the block back, where they're gentrifying it. So you have a street, which is the project, and right across the street is $1 million lofts. So it's just so weird to see, and this is right across the street. And of course, they're trying to get the projects out. So what we're trying to do is buy up the real estate, and Black-owned companies is buying it. So they're buying the houses back, and having Black tenants in it. We're Black businesses. So we have Slim and Huskies, which is a huge piece of spot that is taken over. We have E.G. and Mag, which is a Black cocktail and tapas bar. We have Minerva, which is a kind of not a jazzy bar, but like hookah lounge, Black owned. Willie B. So we are taking up a whole block, and they're buying all the real estate on it and making it all Black.
Oh, that's a blessing.
And we're doing that in Nashville as we speak. So, because we know the importance is that, they're moving us out and don't care where our grandparents are moving. And they've had those houses for 30, 40 years. They're kicking them out. And they don't have nowhere to go. No, we have to save ourselves because no one else is going to do it.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. We love to see it. You got to do for self. That's a perfect way to wrap this up. That's a blessing. Hold up, and I got a Patreon question. Do you know who Otha Wallace is?
Who?
Otha Wallace, Ozone Wallace. It's a brother. He got where was he at? I forgot what state he's in, but basically he's locked up right now. He might be getting a death penalty. But they're trying to give him the death penalty because they trying to say that he shot an officer, which was that shit ain't true. It's a body cam footage, bruh. They pulled up on this man for no reason.
I want to say I might have heard that. Okay.
You might have you heard of it?
Yeah.
You might have.
Yeah,
you might
I have. I don't think I remember the name, but I remember the story.
Okay. Yeah, and he had went like on a run for like they called him in like a day though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That brother, I wanted to bring him up though because there's a brother, matter of fact, Boss Talk podcast, Boss Talk TV. He's doing a 12-hour he's been doing like 12-hour streams, him and a couple other people to like send donations to him. He's in Florida.
Okay.
But he's been doing like 12-hour streams to like so people can send in donations because he needs help with like his attorneys and everything. They're not trying to get that brother killed, but I had to shout him out on the stream. If you don't know anything, definitely head over to Boss Talk if you want to help. Go to
I will. Yeah, that's kind of back in the day they had telethons. You remember they had like
it's kind of similar to that. Yeah.
That's what it is. Cool, like it was like all day telethons and where you go and call. Yeah. So for sure. That's my thing. So I'll definitely
tap into tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow's Boss Talk TV. I think I might stop by there and say something at a time. Text me on there from like 9 a.m. to like 10 a.m.
Text me the name if you can. And I'll make sure. Yeah. I'll check it out.
Bet. Yeah. Okay. And those for the chat. Yeah. Make sure y'all go donate those on for sure.
Yeah.
We stand with ozone.com. Go donate to bruh because we don't want that brother to get death row. Hell to not. Other than that, hold up. Patreon. One question. Patreon. Hold up. Patreon. Shout out to Jazz. She says, salute to these beautiful women. I enjoyed the topic and Courtney's humor tonight. Continue being you. Thank you for this conversation. Peace, light, abundance, and prosperity. Oh, shout out to Jazz. Shout out to Jazz. She's a real one.
I think people are they don't know like I like to laugh, but I tell that because sometimes I'm serious on the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't. Some stuff I don't be playing with. Some topics I be like, this ain't nothing to play around with. But then when it comes late night and talk to the beautiful sis, I can let my hair down, and it's another part of me, and I enjoy it. This was fun.
Yes, I enjoyed this too. I appreciate you so much for coming on, Shorty.
I had to. I said, let me get well so I can spend time and not over here coughing and out of breath. We
don't want you up here running nose and all.
No, y'all look at me like I'm about dying. They was like, "No, baby, you go sleep, honey. You was not well."
Take your time. Just take your time and heal. I ain't going nowhere yet.
Let me stop coughing like I was acting like I was smoking Newports. I was bad. I said, I'm over here with a little smoker's cough.
I am weak. It was great talking to you. This was a blessing. It's a great conversation, Shorty. You got to come back for sure.
I will. And you know what? Today I thought about an idea for one of my shows, and you might be actually perfect to come on through.
Oh, really?
I got a topic that I thought about today. Oh, I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
I thought about a really great topic that I don't think Black women or Black men have really talked about in this sphere.
Okay.
And it's interesting. So I'm gonna send it to you and let's see what we can collaborate some more.
Yeah,
I like this.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I said, we have to change our image, and so we have to we have to be seen, we have to be heard because we're not. We're not. It's
especially Black women. That's a fact. We definitely got to get a better voice out there. We heard, but the wrong ones are being heard.
The wrong ones are being heard.
Yeah.
And so if we can get more visibility of good women that want the best for our community and is willing to put in work. And honestly, I think that's all anyone is asking for out of us.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, let's put it. Let me just see you make an effort, please.
That's a fact. Yeah, I think most of the community is just asking for that.
Yeah,
we ain't been too willing.
No,
Christians.
like
We getting it together though.
Yeah, we are. Because before was like, you want me to change? To hell with you, you know. So no. So now it's kind of like we're like, well, you know what? There's some stuff that I do need to change and be accountable for.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm having conversations in real life too. It's a blessing. Talk to my mother, my aunts, sisters, and shit. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. It's real. Yeah,
it's real.
We all got the same problems.
And that's what that's what makes us community, because even though you're there and I'm here, we can relate as Black women here.
Yeah.
You know, and so I can tell a story. You're like, you know what? I know about that. It's just because it's in our DNA. It's something it's us.
We here. It's the blood. It's the lineage.
Praise them. In the noonday. Yes, come on.
Hey, week. All right, Courtney. Do you have anything you want to promote before you go
to? Follow me. I am Courtney Michelle on IG. Like I said, you can see me on the La Pif Let's Talk Network. That's on Thursdays, 7:30 Central Standard Time on YouTube. And then also my network is on there too. So sometimes I do it usually on Wednesdays. I'm trying to have that popping on Wednesdays live. But if you subscribe to La Pif, you would subscribe to my network so you'll know when I go live. So yeah, check me out. Support me. Sometimes I be feeling like I'm on an island by myself. I'll be on some Angela Davis. And then I'll be talking to a lot of like Roland Martins. And I'll be like, oh, come on now.
I am weak. Yo, y'all make sure y'all show some love to her Cash App too, so it's staying in the
Yeah, if anybody want to buy me a cocktail.
Come on, there was something.
I drank Merlot.
Throw her some tips or something, y'all. Y'all can bless her with something.
I'm not twerking, but I can move a little shoulder. You know what I mean? I can do a little of that.
I am weak. Yo, okay. Nah, this was great though. I'm so glad you came. I'm gonna bring you back. Text me because I definitely want to come on your show.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you what it's about. I'll do that after you finish up because I'll be up.
Okay, bet. All right. Well, hey, what's the time there? What time is it right now?
It's Central Time, so it's 11:27. So you're an hour ahead of me.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, got you. All right, cool. That's a good thing. Did I tell you Eastern Time when I told you that? Because I didn't think about it until a couple minutes before I got on.
Well, I knew.
Okay, good.
I know where you went, so yeah.
Blessings. Okay, well, thank you so much, Shawty. You have a wonderful night. You gotta come back.
I will. Well, we'll be talking. I'll talk
for sure. All right.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you.
No problem, my girl.
All right. Bye.
Let's. Okay, guys. That was it for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Courtney, cool as hell. I fucks with her. I can't even fake. She cool as shit. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Jazz, Jay, KJ, JoJo, 5, Black. I was reading some of y'all comments and I just couldn't Ozone is a former NFAC member. I would have just put that up. My bad. Sorry about that. I was just trying to get the quick version. You know what I'm saying? Let Hostel take over the haircut country industry. Hostel takeover. Facts. We do need a Hostel takeover of that damn haircut company. That's a good one. But all right, y'all. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram __CFWM. Follow me on Twitter _Youth. Subscribe to the channel. All right. Subscribe to my Patreon. If you want to ask questions on the next episode, make sure you're subscribed to the Patreon. The Patreon will get you the questions. You get the questions asked and you subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon, okay? Or you can become a member and send a message on here. Actually, I might start doing that. If you're a member on here, I might start you gotta send a super chat. You send a super chat on here, I might ask you questions. Maybe. Other than that, but buy a membership too if you want. You definitely can buy a membership. They're not that expensive. You go ahead. I'm gonna get y'all some other privileges on another show. On another segment. Other than that, that's all I got. All right, y'all. I'll be back. I might be back tomorrow. Maybe. I might be back tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest, but I'll be back. All right, y'all.